All right, guys, just moving forward with this, there's part in your sheet that says to describe how a landscape can be in a state of dynamic equilibrium. I know I just asked you to sort of figure that out, but remember, dynamic equilibrium is a state of balance. So for a landscape to be in a state of dynamic equilibrium, your uplift, which is plate tectonics pushing the land up, your uplift would be equal, because remember, dynamic equilibrium is a state of balance, would be equal or balanced with erosion. So what we're saying here is that as the land's getting pushed up, it's getting eroded down. This question here you cannot do because we have not talked about dinosaurs yet, and I'm not sure that you know where to find this in the reference table, but 2 weeks from now, I promise you this question will be breeze. On the back, they show these different arrows, and it says, what do the arrows represent in the diagram? So I just want to touch base about what that could possibly mean. We had talked about this when we talked about stream systems, but essentially when you have a divide, which is indicated right here, remember a divide is a high area where water is forced to run down one side or the other, and in class we said we have a big drainage divide right over near the soccer fields here, and the water that falls on one side of it is going to head to Chautauqua Lake and down the Mississippi River. The water that falls on the other side near Beaujean Road is going to go to Lake Erie and out through the St. Lawrence and into the upper Atlantic Ocean. So this here is a divide, and these things here are called drainage basins. A basin is an old word for a sink. People didn't used to have running water sinks, but they had like a big bowl, and they fill it up with water from like a well, and they would do their dishes in there, or they would like wash their hands or their face in there. That's what a basin is. So a basin is like a big sink where water collects. So if we look at our sheet here, the arrows represent water flow. What do the dark boundaries between the arrows represent? These dark boundaries here are going to represent divides. So here, once again, we have water is forced to run down either side of the divide. So on our sheet, you can infer by looking at where these kind of run here. These are high points or ridges. These are going to represent drainage divides. Explain why there aren't any rivers that flow through the dark line boundaries. Well, remember, we just said that these were high points, like high areas in the state of New York. So water does not flow upwards across higher elevations. And they don't. So water is not going to flow uphill and over a divide. It's forced to run downhill. Water runs downhill, and we all know that. You don't need earth science to tell you that. Name the major bodies of water New York State watersheds drain into. We have a few here. The Long Island Sound is listed here for you. But, I mean, you guys know more than that. Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. We also have the St. Lawrence River, the Hudson River, the Delaware River, the Atlantic Ocean, the Finger Lakes. I can just keep going. Now, if you, for any second of your life, were like thinking, where is he getting all these from? Because I don't see all these on the map. Please remember how handy of a page this one is. So this page here, this is page 3 of the reference table. This has a ton of information on it. It's one of the first pages I showed you guys this year, and it's One of my favorite pages is the reference table, just because there's so much packed in here, so much good information, like locations of cities, bedrock, latitude, longitude, coordinates. But also, if you guys look, the Mohawk River, I didn't even list that one. That's a big one. The Hudson River's here. You can see the Long Island Sound. Here's the Atlantic Ocean down here. Of course, we have our lakes. There's Chautauqua Lake. Here's the Finger Lakes, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. The St. Lawrence River is up here. So all of these bodies of water are contained on this page. So if at any point during your regents or in your review, right, if we take a test on this and you're getting confused about, I don't know what the bodies of water are. I don't know where the cities are. I'm not so sure about that. Look on page 3 because they're all right there for you. So I want you to finish this up, and I want you to hang on to this paper. I might come by and just do a check to make sure you completed it, but really it's for you to get ready for the topics related to landscapes that we have coming up.